Hello, I'm Gema Ramirez, and today I would like to share with you an experience I had last week that made me think a lot about planning versus living in flow. I am someone who loves living in flow, and I leave many of the decisions and planning out of my schedule so that I allow myself to be in flow. And that is great. It gives me lots of freedom and the ability to choose where I want to be and how when I am free. However, as I found out last week, a bit of planning with living in flow can work really well, and I'm going to do that from now on. That's my learning, and that's why I wanted to share it with you. We hear a lot about living in flow, and I'm totally out for that, because to me I feel free when I have something planned rigorously. I feel a bit trapped. But that's a state of mind, and that's exactly what I am changing now. So what happened last week is I was in Slovakia. I went to Košice in Slovakia. It's the second biggest city in Slovakia after the capital city, Bratislava. And I was there visiting friends, soul family, and also I had planned a workshop a long time ago. So I knew exactly what I was going to be and the work I was going to be doing. But I didn't buy my flight ticket back to the UK because I wanted to be in flow. I wanted to decide at the time where I wanted to be. Maybe I decided at the last minute I was going to be a little bit longer there, or even go somewhere else after Košice. So I didn't buy the ticket back. What happened? Well, if I had planned beforehand, if I had bought the ticket when I knew this workshop was going to happen months ago, the flight back to the UK from Košice would have cost me £30, and I could have flown to Bristol, which is close to where I live. But I didn't, because I wanted to live in flow, so I left it. A week before kind of my due date to come back, I checked, and the same flight would have cost me £100. Still a bit different, but it could have saved me a lot of hassle, a lot more money if I had bought it then. Because then, 2 days before I decided to come back home, I had this urge. I wanted to be home now. My work was finished there, I know at all levels, and I bought the tickets like 2 days before I flew. So what happens is that I ended up paying 10 times more than the original price would have been months before. And I thought, well, it's okay, because it allowed me to be in flow and I did what I wanted. At the same time, it got me thinking, what would have happened if I had bought the ticket months ago? I would have paid £30 and then I would have flown home on that date. The flight would have been really cheap and I didn't have to think about what I was going to do, buy the flights and all that the last few days during my stay in Slovakia. It would have saved me money and stress. And what I learned is that you can do both. So what stopped me from buying the ticket at the cheaper price was the thought that I was going to be tied up to that date. But that doesn't need to be the case. It's all a state of mind. So if I had changed in my state of mind and thought, okay, I'm going to buy my ticket, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to fly that date. Maybe I can change it. Or if I decide to buy another flight or to stay or go somewhere else, well, I would lose £30. It's not a great deal, but I would have had some peace of mind and a ticket to come back home to if I had chosen that date. So I've learned that living in flow and planning can go well together as long as there is detachment from the outcome and from the planning itself. And that will help. That will help a lot in the future. It will still give me the sense of freedom without feeling attached that I have to do certain things because I've already planned it. And thinking about it, I had lots of time to think because the way back home was quite long. So that gave me lots of time to think about it. That's a good thing as well, about living in flow. I thought that many people in many situations, we do the same things in life. We get stuck in the present, in a present situation that maybe we don't like anymore, thinking that we cannot move because we made a decision in the past and hoping that the future will be better. A client of mine, and of course I have full permission to share this information without saying names or anything, he was stuck in a job he didn't want to do anymore. And he had been like that for over a year. And he came for coaching and he said to me, I'm stuck because now I have a child and I have a mortgage. If I had quit my job a year ago when I knew I wanted to leave anyway and start my own business, it would have been easier. But now I have these responsibilities. I can't leave. And I'm even more unhappy than I was a year ago. And my question to him was, because he was hoping that in the future it will get better and then he will leave later on. And my question to him was, how do you know things are going to get better in the future? You don't know. You don't know if they're going to get better or worse, but you know that you can make a decision now. You can take action now. But if you feel stuck in the past, that, I should have left a year ago, now it's too late, you're living in the past. And if you're thinking that things will be better in the future, maybe one day I will be able to leave, you're living in the future. And then you're unhappy. So what you need to do if you're in that situation is take action now. Maybe you can hire a coach if you don't know what to do. A coach can support you through the process of deciding of going from A to B. That's what we do. So maybe a coach can help. But if you know exactly how to self-coach yourself, if you know exactly what your answer is, just take action and do it. Maybe it doesn't need to leave a job right now, to leave whatever circumstance it is. It could mean just taking action, making things better for yourself in that job, in that relationship, whatever the situation is. But take action. Don't rot in the past, and don't hope for the future that if you don't do anything, might be the same or worse. So my learning is living in the flow with planning and taking action in the moment with careful planification without being attached to the outcome and to the planning itself, so that if you are like me, you don't feel restricted from having a plan, and you still have that sense of freedom. And if you're stuck in the situation thinking that the past was better and the future might be better, take action now. Hire a coach. They will help you get off from that situation. Or if you know what to do, take action now. And of course, as always, keep choosing happy.